Here I have a Philips CA-918R. It's one of these little, I don't think it's even a 5-inch, more like about a 4-inch monochrome analog television. This one has the symptom of no power. These are actually made by Sharp. You can see Sharp there. A lot of the smaller black and white and colour TVs with Philips brand on them were actually made by Sharp, so they're quite good quality, better than something Philips would probably make. Now this one, I've already, as soon as I plug the actual power into this one with a DC socket here, I can see that the pins are actually loose on the socket here, so they've actually, it's quite a common problem with this type of gear where people plug things in and out, because this doesn't actually have a transformer in it, so people are always plugging sockets in and out and they get bumped around and stuff. And it's actually broken the circuit board tracks where these pins solder on three pins on the socket, because they've usually got an internal switch in them, plus the positive and negative connections. So this outer one here, which I think is the negative, is completely broken. This other one, which is, I think the switch is broken in half, or half the joint sort of broken, and the other one, the actual pin's loose in the solder, which would be the positive tip. So these are a nice easy one to fix. Not sure if I can really get that in. I might see if I can just focus that. Hopefully you can see that, but yeah, these pins separated from the board, or the back one's broken from the solder. So basically the back one we can just resolder. This side one, I think, because it's sort of cracked the track on halfway along the pin, we should be able to just solder around that. I might put a little bit of tin copper wire around that to strengthen it. Now this other one's actually broken the track. There's a piece of the circuit board track floating with the actual pin when it moves, so we'll just have to scrape this green lacquer stuff off the circuit board back to copper, and then again we'll better get the focus back right. We'll get the bit of tin copper wire, wrap it round and solder it on, so that'll make a nice strong connection, and hopefully that'll get this little telly going again. And you can just use something like a jeweler's screwdriver and just get in and scrape that green lacquer stuff off. As you can see, it's not a lot of work. We're back to copper. So the more of it we can get around the joint, the better, because we want to put a great big blob of solder on, and yeah, a bit of tin copper wire just to strengthen it. So I'll go to this pad, goes right around by the look of it. So that's the outer pin that's broken right off. So at least we've got plenty of copper there to solder to. Yeah, that's great. This other one I might just scrape a bit off too, so we can put a bit of tin copper wire there as well, just to make it extra strong. This other one should be alright. Sometimes you can even glue the socket actually to the board with a bit of Aerodot or something. If this was a customer job, I might even glue it right down just so they don't break it again. That's that one. We'll tin this copper. Yeah, a little bit of track's just completely come away now. Stuck to my solder on the tip. So put a nice bit of solder on that to tin the copper. Doesn't matter if there's a fair bit of solder on there. Yeah, that part of the, yeah, that's come right away as well, so probably best just to get rid of that little bit of broken off circuit board track. And yeah, I don't even think I need to even get that solder out of there. I should be able to just solder a bit of tin copper wire straight into that. Now I had a piece here, but it seems to have gone walkabout. So I'll find some more. Except that whole roll's disappeared now. There it is. So I'm just going to use a bit of old phone cable, because this stuff, if you strip the plastic off, is actually tinned. Most of them are just bare copper. So I salvage this heap from going in the scrap metal because it's actually tinned. Might even give that a little bit of solder just to tin it a bit more. So just fold a loop. Might even make that a little bit tighter, that loop. And of course there's a bit of solder bridging it now. Yeah, perfect. And just put a great big lump of solder on there, plus a bit of tin copper wire. And that should make that nice and strong. Now we'll do the same around this other one. That should be tight enough. I think I'll squeeze it in a little bit more. And just give it a little bit of solder. It's actually filled it in, but that won't matter. So again, just round that actual pin that's sticking up from the socket, push it on either side, and onto our freshly stripped copper there, copper track that is. Give that plenty of solder. Try not to move it too much while it's setting, because we don't want to make a dry joint. Come on. Yeah, that should be right. Get rid of that. Throw that away. I might even put a little bit more on that one. Plenty of solder there. Multimeter and check that continuity. So the center pin's usually the back one, and just check that's going to the fuse holder here, and see if I can make contact with the other one. Yeah, that's connected to that track, and it should also be connected to this, because there's some sort of internal switch in there. Even though that wouldn't be used in this one since it doesn't have a transformer to disconnect. So the next step, I'm going to switch our power supply on. Make sure our pins aren't shorting out. Positive to the tip. And I can hear something running. And there we have it. We have a raster. So I was doing absolutely nothing before. Got any volume? That's the next problem. Oh, we don't have a speaker connected, that would be the problem, since the speaker's in the back cover and I had to remove that. But yeah, that's giving us power. Now, get the pattern generator going. These have only got a VHF, or do they? This might actually, this has got more bands. Most of these old ones only had VHF in Australia. Now, where's my screwdriver? Oh, yeah, it's definitely got a UHF and VHF socket on it. External antenna. Got the old 300 ohm connectors, so you need one of these Ballons 75 to 300 to hook just about anything up these days. Yep, external antenna. Well, we're nearly there. There's That's on channel 3, I think. Oh, here we go. The grayscale pattern. Camera doesn't like it much, but well, actually that thing is on the screen, that drifting. That's weird. Yeah, might be the switch in my pattern generator is a bit dicky. Yeah, so I'd say that's a working TV. And just make sure it's stable when you wobble the socket around. Yeah, just that resoldering job and it's all good again. Now to get the back on this is a little fiddly. First thing you've got to make sure is this circuit board slots into as a little channel in the top of it there. Make sure that's in that. Bottom comes right down to the bottom here. And we've got this connector on the side for the speaker. So just make sure you put that back in. It's a bit hard to see from this angle, but it must be close. Not quite. Just push that home. Till these little clips either end, grab it. Oops. And make sure that's out of the way. And the next thing is just make sure these pots at the back line up. Make sure that one doesn't. And that should head home. Battery cover. Try that doesn't. Just in the bottom, and slots in there. Looks like someone's got some masking tape on there to hold that on, so that's probably not held in the best. It seems to sort of locks in. Only just. Not the best design. Screws on the back. You remember. Come on, line up. It does not want to line up. Horrid little thing. Got it, I think. And now I'll find the one that went on the floor. Oh, I actually found it. Yeah. See how bellum back up. Add some power. Yep, so that we're going. Oops. Shorten my power plug out the back here, I think. The pattern generator has a little bit of interference coming out of it on RF, but I think the socket's getting a bit loose now. Yeah, it's also UHF and VHF high. Most of them go through the whole VHF band, but not UHF, so I could even hook a set-top box or something onto this one and enjoy television in monochrome. Oh well, there you go. It's actually got P-45 on the front of it, but different model number on the back. Anyway, that was a nice simple fix, quite common for these things with sockets on the back to get a lot of use plugging them in and out and moving them around. I think since they're a portable device, often used on camping trips, in caravans, etc., so they do get knocked around a bit. And it's really just a matter of resoldering the connections, fixing any broken circuit board tracks, and just solder a bit of tin copper wire over it. Clean back the copper and solder that around, and it should be stronger than when it was made. And like I say, if it is something that you're going to use a lot, sometimes it doesn't hurt to put a bit of araldite under, actually unsolder the socket, put a bit of araldite under it, bit of araldite around it, or some similar glue just to make it extra strong. But this one's probably not going to see much use. Probably just sit it on a shelf and look at this one. It's one I bought off eBay for 99 cents plus postage. Since I've never even seen one of these before, I thought it'd be an interesting little thing to look at. And yeah, certainly a weird looking TV, but it should look good on the shelf as just a bit of an oddball from the, I guess, the 80s it's probably from. Thanks for watching.